playoff games in March. Count me in. Players making an impact down the stretch at the right time, staying hot. Definitely going to need that as this playoff race continues to heat up. Welcome in to Devil's Digest. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. You know, games like this prove that March isn't just the NCAA's month. Devils, big 2-1 win over Columbus. They get a 10-point lead in the standings as we head down the stretch. Great performance from Jake Allen tonight. He was sensational. Best player on the ice, especially in that third period. Stopped 22 of 23 in the third, 45 of 46 overall. Found a way to stop their momentum and win the game. That was Jake Allen after the Devils' 2-1 win. As you can see, stat line right there, 45 of 46 saves. Now, we know lately the Devils have had to have a group effort more often. Compared to other teams, they got to do it a little bit more times than the other teams do. Most teams still have their star players in. Most teams still have their number one defenseman in. A lot of teams have their best defensive defenseman in. All things that the Devils don't have right now. So when you have things like that, you need to get contributions from other places, especially when your other goaltender, Jacob Markstrom, came back, maybe not 100%. I still think, obviously, the starter of this team, I think Sheldon Keefe kind of feels in agreement there, or I guess I agree with Sheldon Keefe. But to get a game like this from Jake Allen, to have your backup goaltender steal a game, a divisional game, a team that's right behind you in the standings, a 4-point swing, 45 saves from Jake Allen tonight. That did it for New Jersey tonight. Only got 2 goals tonight from the offense. Relatively though, 2 goals, pretty nice from the type of players that you want to get those 2 goals. Timo, Meier, and Jesper Bratt jumping in here on a loose puck. The type of players that you want to get those 2 goals are your stars, obviously, and that puts them 10 points ahead of Columbus. Rangers right there too, Ottawa. Probably worrying a little bit less at this point about Ottawa. I think right now you're kind of worried about, staying in that third spot, keeping the Rangers back. Columbus, you took a little bit off of tonight, taking that 2 points over the 4. Look, we talked about it last episode. Timo Meier, how he plays in March. Like I said, when it feels like the clocks go back, the clock goes up on Timo Meier. Timo time is here, and he's here to stay for the rest of the season. Like 17 goals on last March to end out the regular season. Scoring again at a pretty nice rate, type of rate that you want him to be scoring at. That's why you gave him $8.5 million to come in here, be one of those star players, be one of those core pieces. And that's kind of the role he's fit into since Jack Hughes has gone down. Overall tonight, gets one of the goals. Looking at this game from a total perspective, 2-1 win. You're in Columbus. You're playing a desperate Columbus team. 3-game losing streak. Hadn't scored since you played them last week. I believe that was a Tuesday night game. It's Monday now. They hadn't scored in a little bit. They get one late in that third period. Now, from a total perspective of this game, you want the win. There are no moral victories in March. You play a nice game. You get a lot of shots on net. There's a lot of chances. Goaltender made a couple saves. You hit a few posts. Get them next time. Doesn't exist right now. I think if you go ahead and ask that Columbus locker room how they felt, I think they give a much different answer back in October. You're in a playoff race. You're 10 points now in front of them. They got 2 games in hand, or I think 1 game at this point. But when you look at that type of game, Devils weren't the best third period team tonight. 23 shots for Columbus. Allen had to make 22 saves tonight. And sometimes when you have the team that they have right now, when there's, injuries, maybe not everyone's in, the type of spot they feel comfortable in, you need the players who are in those spots to embrace the uncomfort. And tonight, Jake Allen did that. Now, he's not probably, one of them. He's been in the league for a while. He's played in some big games. He's won a Stanley Cup final. But overall, this type of game where probably you shouldn't have gotten 2 points. Morally, you probably wouldn't have felt good if you lost this game. But you didn't. And Columbus did. So all in all, when you look at it from that perspective, getting the 2 points maybe feels just as good as if you didn't win or in a dominating way. Or if you did win in a dominating way. Like right now, moral victories don't mean much. I can tell you right now, Columbus does not feel good about that game. They might have had 23 shots in the third period. They might have outplayed the Devils. They might have kind of, stopped a lot of chances for New Jersey tonight. But you know what? They wound up on the losing end. And that's why your stars have to be your stars. Devils, few chances, but you have your star, Timo Meier. Your star, Jesper Bratt, who doesn't need as many chances. They don't need to get, 5 grade A opportunities to put the puck in the back of the net. They just need those 1. That's why you have to go with your stars. You want to go far, go with your stars. The Devils tonight went with their stars. They went with their stars, and they got strong goaltending when it mattered. Jake Allen gave them that. So, all in all, maybe, you heard in the locker room or in the post game that little bit of an uglier effort. Maybe there wasn't the prettiest thing in the world. You heard, Sheldon Keefe and Jake Allen say that, but you got the win. You got the 2 points in the standings. You found a way to win an ugly game. You're not going to get maybe all those opportunities. That's why you have your stars. That's why you paid them in the offseason. You did it to get games like that when you're in a game, a close game in March, a game that feels like a playoff game, could be the difference at the end of the season. You just need a few chances. No, it's okay. We got Jesper Bratt. We got Timo Meier. We'll be good. Don't worry about it. We just need those chances. And when we get those chances, those are the players that are going to convert. Like I said, Timo Meier, probably at the end of the season, he wanted to up until this point. If he's good from March on and you're in the playoffs, all good. Go play well in the playoffs. All good. Don't worry about it. What matters is what's happening right now. The Devils are where they are, and they need their top players, especially with some key players out of the lineup, to be their top players. Tonight, not a lot of chances, still happened. A player who has had a lot of chances and has gotten NHL recognition, Jesper Bratt, second star of the week. He had 9 points in 3 games last week, a goal tonight, and maybe even most importantly, he tied the Devils' assist record with 60. Needs just 1 more to beat that. Should fly right past it. I don't want to jinx him, but should fly right past that mark. What a season from Jesper Bratt so far this year. Or it's going to be a great season, however that ends. But when you get a player like Jesper Bratt, and you got 3 important games last week against teams that are, they all have their different thing. Columbus is right on your tail. Edmonton's a top team, and they're a little bit not playing so well. When you get games like this from your star players, it makes it a lot easier on everyone else. It makes everyone else settle down a little bit more. You get, a player who you are relying on is playing well, and this week he gets the recognition from the NHL. We all know how underrated Jesper Bratt is. And last week, he was phenomenal. Second star of the week. Congratulations to Jesper Bratt. And congratulations on the New Jersey Devils on a huge win because, we look at the standings. Let's just bring it up one more time. Why not? We got time. Look at the standings. 10 points ahead of Columbus. 8 ahead of the Rangers. Teams still have games in hand. So this is not something where you're like, oh, we're in the playoffs now. We're all good. No, you have to continue down the stretch. But the math starts to add up a little bit more. Usually when you get to that 96-point mark, you're basically in. You're good. The math looking a little bit better today than they do for New Jersey. It's not so much a race of how many points you are behind this team, how many points you have on that team, how many games you have in hand on that team. At the end of the day, it really is a point race. People are talking about, Pittsburgh might be coming back into the picture. Boston might be coming back into the picture. Pittsburgh could max out at 92 points on a 17-game win streak to end the regular season. They might be just a couple points behind other teams, but 92 points on a 17-game win streak to end the regular season. I mean, at the end of the day, it is just a point race. You're racing. I feel like this year, 95, 96 probably almost solidifies you a playoff spot this year. The Devils got a little bit closer tonight. Still Carolina, still possible. They're on a 7-game win streak. Obviously, you can't keep that type of winning percentage up. It's still possible, but right now, Devils in the 3rd spot. Built some more room tonight. That's what was important. That's what was on the table tonight. Devils went ahead and took that. Overall, Devils maybe not the prettiest of wins, but there's no moral victories in March. Devils got the win. Devils got the 2 points. Let me know what you think down below. And we got Calgary next, so maybe give me a couple of predictions on Calgary. All right, hopefully you all subscribed. I'll see you guys next time.